Come on.
Yay!
Hey! This is Nasty Neal.
This is Annabelle Lecter.
This is dinner.
And the two
And
movies.
2 movies. Barbenheimer.
Barbenheimer, indeed. So anybody who's
Yeah.
just here for a moment, we decided to stop the Shakespeare
Right.
in the Park.
Which was very cool. I'm glad we got to
Very
see a
cool.
little bit of it, and sometime, hopefully, we get to see a whole thing of it.
Yes.
But we
But
really did want to talk
we
about
really
these
did.
movies. Yeah.
And we can't stay for the whole thing either. So
Right, right.
it just was meant to be that we're gonna
Yeah.
do this.
Yeah.
So
We got a smiley face here. Hello, Facebook
hello,
user.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes we know who you are and sometimes we don't. So the
Exactly.
smiley person, you tell us who you are, that's cool.
Yes.
And we'll only know it when you say it.
Right.
You're just gonna
Yeah.
be Facebook.
Yeah. There's a way to set it up, but I have no idea. So.
Yes, so that
Yeah. Which
forget about
are we
that.
gonna do the movies in order?
Sure, we could do that. Yes.
Just because
Wow,
I
cool.
actually set it up to do.
Whoa. Look at all tech.
Boom! Look at that.
Whoa! All right. So yes, first
First up, Oppenheimer. Boom! Look at the sweet lid.
courtesy of Michael Rappaport,
Oh
otherwise known
yeah,
as Michael
nice.
St. Michaels.
Nice, nice. Hopefully we get to see him next month.
Yes.
That'll be an added bonus when we're out there.
Otherwise known as the Greasy Strangler. Michael's a hell of
Yeah,
a guy.
he's awesome. I saw a shirt today. One I should have bought for him. Now that I think about it, it said "Live every day as if it's Taco Tuesday."
Oh, you didn't buy it? Oh, I thought
No.
you did.
I don't think it was his size on it. It was a medium. He takes XL of me, but if I
He's a
see it
tall
again, yeah.
Yes.
And
So
only one too.
so we love Michael, and I think we both probably love this movie.
Yeah, Oppenheimer I thought was fantastic, honestly.
It was amazing. Did not feel like it felt. I was invested. I thought for sure I'm gonna have to get up and use the bathroom. That not that
Yeah,
that has
neither
anything
of
to
us
do with
did,
your
actually.
attention
Yeah,
span
yeah.
because you have to go. You have to go. But we both had a lot of coffee, and I think our bodies were just so relaxed and in the zone.
Yeah.
It just was like
The-
my bladder was watching it right along with my eyeballs.
The thing with there's been a lot of talks about long movies that they shouldn't be over 90 minutes and stuff. To me, it really comes down to it depends on the movie. If it needs to be 3 hours, I'm totally fine with that. If it needs to be 20 minutes, I'm fine with that. I really think something should be as long as it needs to be.
Yes. And who?
Because I've
determines
seen
that?
I've seen short films that I thought were boring,
Oh,
and I've
yeah.
seen very long movies that are not. So it
Yes.
really depends.
And this was one that was not. Oppenheimer was it was just brilliant. Even in the beginning when Cillian McMurphy is Oppenheimer and they're kind of showing his tortured brain and he's got like these ideas in his head but he can't quite do the things with them and it just shows the unfolding of his career really going towards building the bombs and it was just so fascinating seeing all the scientists interact and I don't know if that was exact, but
no,
it was
but
really cool.
I think that's when the movie really started. The beginning is like kind of setting up who he is and his interactions with and they don't make him to be like a saint by any
No.
means.
He's just,
And setting up everything. And then for me, the movie really starts to get going when they start to build the group.
Yes.
To build the bomb.
The dream team of annihilating humans. But it was totally fascinating. All the characters.
It really made me want to read
great.
the book because I didn't even know it was
Yes.
based on a book. I knew it's true based on the real guy, but at the end it said off the book, and so I'm going to look that up and see if they have an audio version. But I'm very interested.
Yes. I just like to learn more. I mean, that just was so inspired me to know more about these people.
Yeah.
I think physics is really interesting, and I've always liked that, like Albert Einstein, who's like makes a cameo a couple times. There's a rat. I have no problems with the rats of Boston. They're just like a squirrel.
I thought you were calling it me.
No, not in this moment.
Yeah, they just don't have a cool tail. Well, they have a cool tail, different tail, not a bushy tail.
They do not have a bushy tail.
Yeah.
So, it was just really interesting. Oh, just about the idea of Einstein is not good at math, but he has this genius brain that can like perceive of all the concepts and then kind of has to have someone help put it into the math terms. And so everybody had their strengths and they were like recruiting. It was like truly like the dream team. They're like finding the people and trying to bring them in, doing the projects, and all of that was really, to me, quite fascinating. because you see all the personalities and
Yeah, and I think it's on paper it's hard to like let's make these scientists like cool and interesting. And I think on paper that might be hard to do, especially for like a wide audience. But this is getting a lot of buzz, and the place was packed.
it was. No one got up.
No,
I saw.
yeah.
So
Cillian Murphy, he's like the rock
is
star.
it Cillian or Chillian?
I don't know.
I think it's Chillian.
Oh, I was gonna say he's like the rock star physicist. He's got
He
like
is.
groupies and stuff.
He does. He's got personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the Einstein. I mean, he's obviously a real guy. So, but it's cool because he's like the old legend.
Yes.
And even then, he
He's the
had like this
guru.
mystique about him and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was cool.
It was really cool.
If
Yeah.
I have any complaints,
There it is.
honestly,
Or maybe it's a bunny. No, there's a bunny. See
oh,
it? Frozen in the middle of the sidewalk. There's a little. You'll see it. Hey.
I see him now. Yeah,
That's a
I
bunny.
see bunnies all the
That's a bunny.
time when I'm walking.
A little
They'll just stop and think they're hiding.
It goes, whoop.
He's a baby one too.
It's a little nugget.
If I have any negative, it's just that there are so many top actors in the movie.
Mhm.
Every once in a while, I caught myself just thinking, "Oh, there's so and so and so." And that's not really a negative. It just maybe would take me a little bit. But there's some. Most of them do such a great job. They're really
Oh,
hidden
yeah.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Like Gary Oldman. Like I know
I
it
didn't realize
took
it
me
was
a
him
little
at
bit,
first.
but yeah.
He was great. He did a great job. He played Truman.
Yeah.
Scooter.
And Robert Downey Jr.
I didn't even recognize him at first.
I think he was great in it.
He was.
Because I think a mark of like a really good actor who's so well known is if they get lost in the movie, you don't even think about, oh, I'm watching so and so. Because there are people, I won't say some people that I watch them and I just think, oh, I know this is so and so throughout the whole
Jack.
time.
I love Jack Nicholson,
Yeah,
but he is Jack Nicholson in
Right.
every movie.
And Nicolas Cage, even though I actually enjoy
Oh.
Nicolas Cage stuff, but like,
But it's Nicolas Cage.
yeah, but this and it was and now that might be the rat you saw.
Oh yeah, that is right.
Yeah. Big. It was bigger than the rabbit.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, look at there's creatures. You see the thing? There's the rat, and then in the grass now is the bunny. Like
Oh, they're like Cinderella or whatever. No White. Snow White, I guess. So,
they both have animal friends. Cinderella's helped
fair
her
enough.
with the cleaning.
Snow White and
And
Cinderella.
Sleeping Beauty as well.
Yeah.
Animal buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's really not even a big negative. It's just that's the only thing. I like the use of black and white. And
And color didn't seem cheesy. It was like it just reflected different things that were going on.
Because they don't tell the story linear. It's going, which is interesting because it's about his rise, getting the team together, and then also about his kind of downfall and the not necessarily trial, but what happens to him when because
deciding to give him security clearance again or not.
right,
And
him dealing with the moral dilemmas of what happens after, and all that is it doesn't even tell you how you should think either, which I like. It's the questions are there for you to, because he's not, like I say, he's not a saint. He cheats on his wife and stuff, and then he builds a bomb. And does he know it's going to destroy all these people? Maybe not, but at the same time, what else would it be for? I know, I'm just saying. And then, but what I like about that is because they looking at it in scientific terms, and all of that is like, like in theory, this will do this and that.
yeah.
And when you do that, that can be very dangerous. And I think
Like
that's
AI.
enough, right?
Hello.
Which actually, the guy who made this, Christopher Nolan, actually said that he compared this this to AI.
It's out of the bottle.
Yeah. He said,
and now everybody's going to be using it, and
because he said, like, right now we're living like the Oppenheimer moment of
That's
AI.
awesome. That's really yes.
And the thing is, like, okay, we build this, and in theory, it could destroy this whole city. And when you're doing that, it's one thing to just think this is theory, but then when it actually happens, it's a completely different thing.
Well, and it seemed like part of the idea that they had was, okay, we're going to have this, and then we're going to know we've got it, and then we're going to tell them we've got it, and then we won't use it. Like, there's this dreamy disreality. Like, I think the word naive was used, this idea of, like, we're going to build it as a threat and then not use it.
Which has really been, since then, what has people have always said we need all this because it's the Cold War was that. They're not going to use it. We're not going to use it. We're busy looking at the animals right now. No, I like it too.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, so they begin it. It's from beginning, plays through until after Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and you see like the pace because they're like it's so slow moving. It's like being time, and they have these two bowls. There's one like fish bowl, and then one little bowl, and they're counting out as they're in their science group in the middle of New Mexico. They're showing how much plutonium and
Uranium.
Krypton. Kryptonium. Yes, uranium. And so every time they make enough, they'll put in like marbles in one, and then they'll put in marbles in another, and as it keeps getting processed, so they could kind of see how close they're getting to actually being able to have all the material they need to make this work. So that you get the sense of how time passes just by seeing them filling up these containers.
Yeah, even the idea that like they made this whole town for everyone to stay at, and like they were there for like 3 years just making this. Still a lot of stuff I didn't know. Like I know that they made it, but you don't think of like how long does that take to do it. And then again about the theories, because there was an idea that once it starts, it could never stop the bomb, and it could actually. There was a theory maybe it would just keep going and destroy everything.
Yeah, that
destroy the
it
whole
would
world.
be just the reaction that would happen where things would smash and then it go off each other, and that there would just be instead of it just blowing up and then being contained and retreating, it would just blow up.
I
across the entire
I remember
atmosphere
seeing
of the
something
planet.
not that long ago when they've been trying to recreate the Big Bang in a very
Super
small,
glider.
yeah, and there's theories that would destroy like
They already
everything.
did it.
I mean, when they were working on it, there was theory that once they did it, they would
Yes.
destroy everything.
I think MIT did.
It was in England. Maybe.
There is an England one. Oh, maybe. Yes.
But either way, it was,
Yes.
that's all very interesting.
It's very interesting. And then, so I think all these scientists, because you get the sense that like part of the story too is about communism and how communism versus, are you a communist and you're Russian, pro-Russia, or are you communist because of the ideas of people coming together and supporting each other and not letting people get taken advantage of. So
a lot of that's very topical today.
Very much so. And so that's kind of, you get the sense that mostly science people are pretty liberal. They want everyone to be okay. They're involved in political things about like the world being a more peaceful place.
Right.
So you don't get any kind of sense that these are totally soulless individuals who are just like, we're just going to make something.
Right. A lot of that's about the greater. They don't say greater good in here, but the idea of like the greater good. If this is the idea to have this is to stop bigger wars, of more people being killed.
So yeah, as it progresses, you just see things unfold, and they're just getting angry over and Macbeth.
I did read a little bit about Oppenheimer beforehand, but I don't want to go too much into reading about him because I didn't want the movie to be spoiled. But yes. I did read that like after he made the bomb, after he saw it, that it did change him, and then he became really anti war and anti to keep building the bigger and bigger bomb because there's no good end to that.
I mean, but then the argument was, well, if we don't do it, they're going to. And the idea of they are going to be less humane than the United States. Maybe not. Clearly, we used it twice. Couldn't just be like, boom, which was already horrible. It's terrible. I was getting a little emotional.
And the explosion itself, that's really a small part of the movie, but that scene is great. Visually it's I read that he didn't use CG, so I'm not exactly sure how what he did exactly, but it did look awesome. And there's it's very cool too because it's completely silent and then the noise comes in later. Yes. Just that whole scene is
Yeah.
it adds a lot of power to what's happening.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
So it was very compelling. He had his, I won't call it a story of romance, which I thought was kind of like silly to throw in some sex scenes. I'm like, just gonna slap some boobs up there, just so they're there. Yeah, I'm curious about how much of that story is true. Like, they've got his wife who struggles with postpartum depression, is an alcoholic, and they paint her as to be not the most fantastic mom in the world. And they don't really describe it, so like people that don't know about postpartum are just gonna be like, "Wow, if she's a
Right.
raging bitch who just drinking and doesn't care about her child," which probably isn't. It's probably more than that. So yeah, there's just this background stuff that's interesting and kind of learn a bit more about him. But there's espionage the whole time. There's spies. There's people like
double
that are out
agents.
after him, and yeah, because Russia's involved and Germany's involved, and all these different nations are in this crazy.
There's a lot of paranoia.
Yes.
Because you don't know who's on whose side, or and who's just trying
including
to manipulate
in America.
things. Right.
Who's on whose side in America?
Exactly. Yeah.
And there's some of the people you maybe didn't expect were going to be.
Yeah, it might come down to some real pettiness and stuff, which is I liked a lot of that.
Yeah, there is some surprises, and that person I thought was just fantastic in their acting, because I went from really thinking I really like this person and feel for them, and then I really didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, we won't say who, but I thought he was fantastic. And Cillian Murphy, I don't know how you say it. I say Cillian, but it's probably I'm Murphy. He's
Murphy.
I'm always a big fan of his, and it's cool to see him like he's become like a really. He used to be like he's in 28 Days Later, which isn't necessarily it's a big movie for horror fans, and it did well. And
he was a Scarecrow in Batman.
Yeah, and a lot of times he would be like
that.
a character actor or something else. And then I think Peaky Blinders is when people started to kind of see more of like a leading man. And it also reminds me of one of my favorite sci-fi movies that I think is really underrated with Murphy, and that is Sunshine. So another very bleak movie. Which, by the way, it has a great tie-in into Signs too. If you ever get the DVD or Blu-ray, one of my favorite commentary tracks. They have two commentary tracks, one with the director and then one with the guy who was actually on set to try to make sure things were as scientifically as correct as possible.
That's cool.
And his commentary is great, but very bleak, and it's not feel good at all.
Do they have that for this?
Yeah, I mean, it would be, when it comes out on physical, yeah. Oh, if they had a science guy, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It was fantastic. I loved it. It was 3 hours. I was going to look at my watch just because I couldn't believe that it could possibly be 3 hours.
Yeah, I saw some people say it's just people sitting around talking, whatever. I mean, what are they going to do? Is it going to be like a car chase
people sitting around talking, but it's not like they're talking about the weather. Well, at one point they are talking about the weather because it's relevant to the testing that's going on, and it builds up the drama.
But yeah, I thought it was fantastic. I remember one of the best casts ever in a film.
Really wonderful cast.
Looks great. Yes. Not just the explosions. It's the
visual tricks, like the way they've got him, Jillian. Oh, now I feel like I don't know who's this person.
That's just something popping up on Twitter. I don't even follow that guy.
He looks like a bum.
Twitter sucks because like all this stuff pops up that people I don't even follow.
Boo. So so he's like has these visions, and there'll be these beautiful musics and these like cool things, and it's like reverberating. I think this is a good theater experience.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I would like to see it. I know we didn't get to see it in IMAX. I'm sure that would be cool, and 70 millimeter at the screens that can show it. So I would be interested in seeing it 70 millimeter.
Yes, I would see it again.
Yeah,
I would. It really was excellent. So I don't know what more there is to say about it other than you guys should check it out.
It's a wild part of history, Colleen says.
What is this animal?
Well, I think it's the rat.
He's going slow.
Yeah, he's sneaking up on
What's
us.
up, buddy? What are you doing over there? I guess he found some little thing to
I
crunch
think
on.
we're probably going to be in agreement.
What?
Boom.
Yes! That times 2.
2 and 2.
So 5s all around.
Yes.
Definite. Anybody that thinks that Christopher Nolan is just universally some kind of bad filmmaker is
Yeah, and another thing, people say
insane.
that like there's not good movies at the theater. It's just Marvel or just superhero movies and like Fast and Furious type stuff. But there isn't. This was big, and people went out to see it.
A lot of people. And this was Sunday.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
it
even
was
like the first
packed all
day.
weekend.
Yeah. And we were just in the digital theater, and we were not even in the downtown Boston theater. We were
No,
in the
yeah, we were in the
Dorchester
dark. Yeah,
theater, which is not always so full.
no, yeah. No, normally, that's why I thought it would be. I think this one was completely packed.
Yes. So then we saw
Barbie. Hold on, let me grab some.
Oh, yes. So Barbie. Man, the streets were running pink with pink. There was, I mean,
Yeah, we even gave in and wore the pink.
I have a sweet pink shirt for those
That
who
is
didn't
really
see it
nice,
on the when I wore it the other day on show.
Without your head. Yeah, it's a sweet shirt.
Thank you. I got it just for this reason.
Oh, always up for an excuse to bring out this Liz.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I should wear
Straight
more
out of
often.
the 2000.
What?
Is that what it's from?
I think it's
Maybe
timeless.
before than that.
70s maybe. I don't know.
No, it looks like a 90s era lid.
So Barbie.
Barbie. Barbie indeed. What do you think of Barbie, Neil Jones?
Well, to be honest, it was a much smarter movie than I thought it was going to be. I really, honestly, from the trailers, I thought it looked horrible. I thought it looked like the worst movie probably ever made. But it was a much smarter movie. It's about actual topics. So I like to let. But at the same time, this one I actually did think felt long, even though it's a lot shorter. It's 2 hours. Because I think a lot of the topics that they're on, they're. I'm not saying they're not good topics. It's about feminism and equal rights and a lot and down the street. But I do also think it was very repetitive, and some of the jokes are flat. But some stuff was really funny. It made me laugh out loud.
That's good.
Yeah.
I thought it was very cute. I thought that there was a lot of silliness. It was like Will Ferrell is in it as the like CEO of Barbie.
Right.
So there is Will Ferrell humor in there, and
almost like honestly,
What's her
I
name?
feel like some of those people like Will Ferrell, it's just like they kind of let him do whatever he wants,
yes,
and it doesn't necessarily even fit the movie. I don't know. It's a very bizarre movie, which
yeah, it is.
I
It's
actually like
crazy.
about it.
It's almost like an Adult Swim kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's just weird.
And see, I don't really know anything about Barbie, but I do wonder, like, if you grew up with Barbie, what you would think of it. I don't know, but it seemed like the audience loved it. So I'm glad that the audience
there's
like
two people
laughed at some
behind us
totally
who
whacked out
literally
stuff.
admitted they were. One of them,
That's
anyways,
true.
was like, "I'm so drunk," but she was far enough away that I could find it funny. They weren't directly behind us, so that person was pretty silly. That was all right. Yeah, there was people that were like clapping and stuff, but as it started, like you're saying, people that went in there, I don't know if people really expected it to be like a social statements going on. It opened up. It was very silly. Ken is really cute. I like the Ken character. I feel bad.
I actually think he might have been the star of the movie. I thought he was really
great.
good.
Yeah, all the Kens. They've got all the Barbies and all the Kens and all the Kens called Kens and everybody. And they have like this Barbie world and everything's run by all the Barbie
and
ladies and it's a peaceful, pretty place and everything is nice and everyone's happy and all the Kens are happy and all the Barbies are happy. But the Kens actually want more Barbie attention. And Barbies aren't intentionally like being rude to them, but the Kens really don't. They really are not treated like equals
No, no,
at
no.
all. They're not treated poorly, but they're not.
They're not
They have
equal.
emotions,
Right.
and they're not. They're not recognized. Maybe they don't recognize each other's emotions too. Maybe everything is so surface that the other people feel emotions and no one gets recognized.
Yeah, I mean that's probably true. But then when they become more self-aware of what's happening.
Because they leave the Barbie world and go into reality to try to make amends with Barbie's child that she's got a connection with. There was a big twist there later in the film. I loved the weird Barbie.
I'm in agreement with that as well.
What's her name? She's from
I'm very bad with
Live.
names, but yeah, and she was great. Again, the Ghostbusters.
Kate McKinnon.
Maybe, yeah, I think you're right.
She's in a lot of things. She's very silly.
She was my favorite in the new Ghostbusters.
She's very funny. But she was like, Barbie's like, we need help, yo. We gotta figure out what to do. And they're like, go to weird. Like, why is she so weird? And they're talking about how
the whole setup is great because like she's over the doll's overplayed with, so even the joints are like loose, so she's
that's because that's when people do crazy things. They like smash their dolls, right. So they're like,
I didn't have Barbies,
like
but I had
they never put them away. Nice. Yeah. They're always like.
I've had lots of extra, and then like for GI Joe's example, if you play a lot of GI Joes, the O-rings will break, or the little crotch area will break off, and then the legs are all loose. So that was cool for anyone who's grown up with toys. You know? And
they were showing like they'd tell the story, and then they'd show kind of like what would happen to if someone was doing it, burning the Barbie hair and all this stuff. So then Barbie has to go to Weird Barbie's house, which was awesome. It's like the Weird Barbie house is like this crazy kaleidoscopic amazing world.
The whole art decoration is really amazing. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it's really, really incredible to look at, even if almost all of it's pink. It's awesome. It's so creative, so clever. Oh my goodness. So Kate McKinnon I was like, man, this is a woman who reminds me of myself. Her hair's all madness. She's got makeup's all weird.
Yeah,
she's just weird. Like
hand drawn.
And really not especially, she's a woman, but not especially not girly.
Right.
And she's awesome. Her clothes are all madness. So I had no problem. They were insulting her in big ways. I'm like, I don't care. You can call her weird and ugly.
Yeah, we're sorry we call you weird Barbie behind your back and your face.
Yes, I love this character. She's the smartest. She's the most aware. She has wisdom. All lines up. So, yeah, then they do their Barbie thing, and what's up?
Oh no, I was just letting you go on, but yeah, I mean, there's a lot of clever stuff. There's stuff that made me laugh. I just think it probably should have been edited down a little bit because I don't know, it just felt a little long to me.
It's part of the message was that they go to the Barbie and Ken end up coming to the real world, and there's this idea Barbie has is that Barbies, they know that they're Barbies in Barbie world, and they feel like, oh, we exist and we've inspired all the people in the real world to be wonderful, and the women can all be leaders and they can do anything, and just the world's gonna be so great. And they go there and they're on I think Venice Beach in California, and everybody just so shitty to her because she's super pretty, and so they're like just.
Oh, and then she also, she knows what it's like now to all the dudes are like hitting on her.
Disgusting and horrible.
Yeah,
and
not just hitting on her.
Women are mean.
Yeah.
Men are mean. Women are mean. Kids were mean. And Ken is like, people are like, think he's cool, or at the very least aren't mean to him. Like he was pointing it out. He's like, man, people are paying attention to me, but it's not in a scary way. And for her, it was in a scary way.
Right.
And so there was a lot of stuff like that, kind of pointing out the inequities of what it's like to be a woman. And at one point, like one of the human characters goes off. I'm like, wow, you are right. I feel like for many women, that rant is going to be very validating because, dang, Macbeth. Yeah, I recommend this movie to women that feel like you're expected to be everything at all times to all people. You're supposed to be nice, but you're supposed to be tough, you're supposed to be smart, but you're supposed to like be non-aggressive, and there's just so many different messages. And yeah, there's just a lot of different messages about what we're supposed to be. Like even the having the weird Barbie, like that's a message.
Right.
And also, it bothered me that they did have a big Barbie woman, but I don't think there's any in reality. I don't think reality has plus size.
As far as I know, they don't.
They
And
should.
I think at the end when they during the credits, I think those were all real Barbies that they were showing.
Yes.
And some of them I didn't know about, like one where the breasts like grow, and then like the pregnant one, that's fine with her, but then like it had like this weird like the
Baby
belly
pouch.
puffs, yeah, and like
Yeah.
it was very just that was creepy. I like Alan too, though.
Alan was so cute. What's his name?
I forget the actor, but I'm always a fan of his. He's from he was the son in Arrested Development. Michael Cera. Like that.
He was in. Wasn't he in Scott Pilgrim?
Right.
Too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He was very cute.
Michael Cera. Yeah. Thank you, John.
Yeah. Ah.
Thank you, John Kelly.
Because sets are fantastic.
Yeah, and he mentioned
and
Ryan
plastic.
Gosling. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was. I thought it was a really fun movie. I thought it was clever. I mean, you said all the things. It was clever. It was fun. It had funny moments. I mean, I guess maybe it could have tightened it up. I would just say they could have tightened it up. I don't think it'd have to be by much, but they probably could have tightened it up and maybe taken away 20 minutes. Like there's a lot of chase stuff, honestly. Yeah. They need all these big chase scenes. Right. Like they had some really goofy chase. And they were silly, but they didn't have to be as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like that it's so weird, and it's about a lot of social commentary in it, because I think not everyone who goes to that is going to expect that, and I think it's good. It's like a Twilight Zone or something back in the day. You would watch it for other reasons, and then you get messages there.
Yes, there's a couple of.
Was there definitely.
Anything like that was weird or inappropriate? I feel like there was one point people were like,
"Whoa!" I think some of the jokes are aimed at adults, but I'm not sure they'd be inappropriate for a kid, because I'm not. Yeah, because it was about beaching me off. And then there was that and a comment about I can't wait to see like his like.
Oh, that's right, the plastic
blob under his pants or something. But I don't think anything like too crazy. But
yeah. So that's part of what happens is Ken comes back from the real world and starts to try to convert the Barbie world, and it's an ugly thing.
Yeah, he really discovers patriarchy and tries to bring it back.
He's got like his little books. Oh my god, it's cute. Ken's great.
Yeah, because he's not like a total villain. He's misguided.
Sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Ken just wants to be important, and he's not, because no one is really an individual in Barbie world originally.
Right.
And then I did think it was like a little. It's like it was all women running everything, which I don't think is fair, and that is not what would make the world a perfect place. And then at the end, it was kind of going in that same way.
I thought honestly,
I
don't want to say, but I think the very ending went, because it's like instead of like, okay, now we both realize whatever, it's like, oh, now it's all back to exactly like it was, like pretty much.
They said it was going to be kind of better, and I'm like, well, why kind of? You don't have to like slowly and have men be equals. That's just dumb. So I didn't like that. I didn't like the end message. I didn't think was really helpful. Look at it, Bunny.
Yeah, Bunny.
That one's a bunny.
That guy's dog up there looks like a coyote or something.
It's like German Shepherd.
Oh, I think his way it's moving is a little weird for a dog.
It's investigating.
But no, it was way better than I expected.
Yes, me as well. So, and I'd heard good things, but you never know, because
on the way up, just because I listened to a couple like real right-wing guys because I saw they were hating it, and I have a guilty pleasure to listen to that stuff to a little bit just to see what. And my Lord, Pierce Morgan said it was an assault on not only Ken but all men, and
It's so extreme.
I know. I was just like, I didn't see it yet, but I just kind of laughed. And then I started watching the Ben Shapiro one, but it was 45 minutes. I'm like, I'm not gonna watch all this. But he was like pissed. Like I was like, come on. And I don't even really. He said that only people that go to see it are middle-aged moms and their little girls, and I don't think there's anybody like that in the audience. I think it was all like 20 and 30-year-olds.
Yeah.
Except us.
Maybe, but they had their 20-year-old kids.
Right. Honestly, the only people I've seen that really hate it are people that were really offended by anything about women.
I do think it was. I think it in the long run, the way it ended, I do think was unfair. But would I think that anybody's gonna have a big fit about it? About a fucking Barbie movie?
Right.
And like it's what's gonna happen? Oh my goodness gracious.
But yeah, it's a subversive movie because you get people going to see Barbie and you get some lessons. So I like that. I'm surprised it even got made. This giant not surprised that a Barbie movie got made, but one that was like so weird and stuff.
I actually, as we were watching it, I thought the thing that opened the door for this was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
That's a good deal.
Because there was a lot of that, like, this is just fucking weird. It's just weird, and it's blending reality and fantasy, and there was even like a dance sequence at the end, and I was like, this is just. There's no reason to be here, and I like it though. I thought it was really good. There's a lot of talent in those people.
I think a lot of times it's like the studio, whatever. They underestimate the audience, so they think all they want is like stupid. For the big movies, all they want is like some dumb action movie, which can be fun, whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
But sometimes something smart does really well. Like you said, Everything All at Once. I mean, that cost, and I saw the other day, it actually cost a lot less than I thought because it looks like a big movie. It cost like $10 million, made over $100 million.
Sounds interesting.
But this, I'm sure, was cost quite a bit. It looks great.
It's awesome. They're like, oh my God, I can't even. They have like these just totally stationary. They're leaving the Barbie world. They leave it in the Barbie car, which is really cute. And then they're on these completely stationary things like props to like go places like riding a rocket and then on the next thing and the next thing. It's so silly and imaginative.
And kudos to
Colleen,
Mattel.
if you don't love it, I'll be
Yeah.
It's really fun.
And kudos to Mattel because they make them look like this whacked out evil thing in some ways. So I was like, that's pretty cool that they like that. The
sales.
I know, but still at the same time, I'm not sure everyone would be down for that.
I want the Kate McKenna Barbie. Where is she?
Yeah, the weird Barbie.
I want the weird Barbie. She's awesome. See, I'd buy that Barbie. Maybe. It's like me getting shirts, like concert shirts after the concert. Look at all of those things.
Oh man!
Dang! Rabbit just
look out! I thought he was gonna run the whole. That he was gonna
dude! Oh no!
Yeah, I thought he was gonna run the baseball diamond at first.
He wised up and said that. Oh.
Yeah, why did the dog didn't chase him down? He's like a whole family of bunnies over here with their buddy the rat.
Is leashed.
You know what? What if the rat is the weird bunny?
Weird bunny?
Yeah, because he just hangs out thinking he's a bunny.
Oh, is he like raised by the bunnies?
Yeah.
That would be
they
so
just
cool.
like, oh, it's weird, but
Mama
he's our buddy.
Bunny's like, look at that little shriveling little dude. Let's bring him on over.
Facebook user, I do think was slightly long, but I did go see it over the head of the goggle of 10 to 12-year-old girls next to me. Some said it was boring, but I think many that were really over their heads. It's possible. We were in not like a much older, as in like they were like, but I mean they were 20, mostly. Yeah. It seemed
most
like
of them
everyone
got there from their own power.
I really didn't see any little kids there, so
no.
And they were all laughing.
Yeah.
They seemed really.
The girl next to me was not into anything.
Oh, really?
No, but she was. I put my hat on the chair and she was like, so maybe she wasn't like me.
Oh, I mean, the guy singing montage had me howling.
Yes.
Matt Skinner, we love Barbie. They saw it twice. Both times were sold out. Lots of laughter, lots of tears.
I might try to convince some of my real world people to go.
Depends on
What do you think
maturity
your
level.
mom would think of that?
I don't know if she'd like it.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
She might. I don't know.
What do you think Troy would think?
He probably would never see it.
If you forced him, if you tricked him into seeing
I don't
it.
think he'd like it. My mom might like it, actually.
It's funny. I liked it. I liked them both. It was a great, I don't think there's any way that they could really predict these joining hands.
No, and it's
being
cool
a
that
good
it became a
match.
thing. And
Yeah. And I saw warnings the other day about like, don't actually think these two go together. If you really think that these are going to be a match, then. And the way I looked at it is like, I looked for times where we'd see Oppenheimer first, be this big,
big long,
bulky thing, and then cheer up. Maybe we'd need some cheering up after a heavy Oppenheimer, and I thought it was perfect pairing.
Yeah, I did too. I mean, I like contrast.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. It was good all around.
So I'm not giving. I'll go 4 for Barbie.
Yeah, I think 4. 4 is good. I don't have to go crazy over here.
Yeah.
There's no Oppenheimer.
No, but I still liked it.
It was.
And I appreciated how weird it was.
And
I like anything with.
I would watch it again. I won't see it a million times. I won't own it.
Yeah.
It won't be something I have to see repeatedly, but I would share it with others. So yeah,
Good.
all right, guys. So I guess that's pretty much the end of
Yeah,
that.
I'm glad we got to do this.
Me as well. It's nice night.
So
and
we're probably going to be seeing
oh,
advanced screening of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles this
Are we
Wednesday.
not?
We are going to see.
oh, okay. I'm like,
So,
why
yeah.
are we some baby? I thought we were.
I
This is
don't
like-
know that one. I don't know if we'll have time to review it after because it's 7. But if not, we'll review it on
On the show the day after.
Right.
So that would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, but I will say the animation I think looks great.
Yeah.
It looks like a lot. It looks like a comic book come to life.
I think now that I think about it, I think I got into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because there was a role-playing game.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy the role-playing game.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And then I got the books there. I don't think I have them anymore. Maybe I do. They're like graphic novels before they were called graphic novels.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically just like compilations of some of the comics. And those were awesome. So I was drawing Ninja Turtles and Little Shredder. And yeah, it was awesome. Movie, okay.
Yeah, I never liked the movie.
Cartoon was pretty.
So it'll be interesting because I don't really know too much about them besides like a really surface level, and you know more about them. So we'll go in.
Yeah, I wonder what the story's going to be. I mean, they've got April and they've got Bebop and Rocksteady and some of the basic characters. So
Yeah, I don't know if it's the origin story again. Seems like that's probably been told many times.
Yeah.
That's like Spider-Man. It's been like 50 origin story movies in like
Batman
a 10-year.
too.
Batman.
Yeah.
It's like let's make another movie where his parents get killed.
I don't know. So we'll see, but the art looks incredible. So honestly, even if it really sucks as a story, the art,
Yeah, it looks great.
it's very unique style of animation.
Look at this.
What's up?
She says, because Annabelle has superior taste.
Why, thank you.
Well, look who she's hanging out with, so I guess you're right.
It's true. There's got to be something good going on with this guy.
Figure it out one of these days. But no, it's really fun. I'm glad
It's been great.
Worked out.
Worked out awesome.
Maybe not the best food of a dinner and a movie.
No, but it was fine. I didn't really need to eat a ton. We split. What do we eat? Sandwich.
Sandwich. And
No, it's
so-
sushi,
and
and the grocery
and
store.
and
sushi.
grocery store.
But it's good.
But it was good.
And yeah, I didn't spend crazy money on food, which
That's
is
good.
actually my top. I'm like, what's going on with my money? I gotta look and see what I'm spending on food. Like that's my biggest.
When I stopped drinking, boy, did I save a lot of money.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop drinking. I don't drink a lot when I go out, but I'm always like, oh, I'm gonna have some fruity,
Well, it used to
delicious
be like a
beverage.
drink. You could find places where you can give like $5 or something. Then
Yeah.
it became like $10 a normal. Now it's like 15.
Yeah, yeah, I gotta stop that.
And if
It's
you
not like
drink
I'm really
multiple
drinking it to
ones,
drink
yeah,
either.
if you
It's
drink
not like
multiple
back in
ones,
the
it's like
olden
$50
days.
for a couple.
That's crazy. So yeah, if I'm gonna drink, I'll just bring something with me. Those days are gone. Those days are gone. Well, they look like they've got a path. Did you see he just went
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
little rat path?
Sit there. I don't know. It's weird. We got an audience.
A rat.
Rats
And a rabbit.
and
Bunny.
bunnies.
Even the dog.
Yeah, I see a ton of bunnies around there. So I'm glad
Me
to see them
too.
out.
Me too. So
Sure.
yeah, we're just wildlife kind of people.
All right, so we're gonna head out. And we will see you. Fine, we'll see you Thursday, John Dugan on Without Your
Yeah,
Head.
awesome. Yes, we got to make sure that's all lined up for his times. He's usually awake 24 hours a day, I think.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll make
Yeah,
sure.
John Dugan, grandpa of Texas Chainsaw and SAG member, is going to come on the show and talk about all the shit that's happening. There's so many opinions flying around about what's going on. It's just madness. Madness.
Yeah, so that'd be cool. I don't know if we'll have a second guest or not. There's a lot of people going on for lots of things going on. We'll figure it all out, but check it out. Without Your Head.
Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Go to withoutyourhead.com or the Without Your Head YouTube or the Without Your Head Facebook page.
Yeah,
You
it's a
stream
big
it
one.
to the Facebook group, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
group, it's more active than the page.
Yes.
So withoutyourhead.com, there's a big link right in the top right-hand corner where it takes you right to the YouTube live link. If you're watching this, you're probably watching it on there anyways.
That's true. So yeah, we'll be there, and we hope to see you there. Yeah.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.